The excitement and rumors for the Royal Rumble continue, so of course there's a lot of speculations on who might be returning. This is WrestleRound bringing you today's top 5 wrestling news and rumors. As always, to be fully up to date on pro wrestling, make sure to have those notifications turned on. And our first report for the day is WWE being disappointed with NXT 2.0. It looks like NXT 2.0 has been a failed experiment so far. It has been 4 months since the rebranding of the brand, and the ratings have not increased, even without AEW Dynamite competing against them. So with all of that said, it looks like WWE is not too happy about it, with WrestleVote confirming the following. Internally, WWE is said to be disappointed with NXT 2.0 in its first month. Source said they thought more fans will gravitate towards the newer stars quicker than they have. Could it just be too much too fast? Either way, I don't expect any changes to the concept just yet. It's interesting that even with guys like AJ Styles and Matt Riddle jumping to the NXT brand for a couple of weeks, long term that's not really helping out because it's not keeping those fans in there. They might get a rating boost, but they're not keeping that audience. And I agree, it could be one of those cases where they might be trying too much and it might be too obvious, so people are not necessarily buying into it. In a span of a couple of weeks, they got rid of everybody that we used to know from NXT and that we probably watched NXT for just 3 months ago. If they were gonna make that transition, they needed to do it a little bit slower, not just within one pay-per-view, the War Games pay-per-view. We will see if NXT bounce back, and I would not be surprised if in a couple of months WWE does another major change. While we are on the topic of NXT, there's 2 superstars rumored to be getting a call-up. First off is Raquel Gonzalez. She is said to be moving on to the main roster, but WWE is holding her off on NXT until the Women's Dusty Classic is done because they need her to fill a spot in that tournament. The other superstar is Roderick Strong, who, as of me recording this, PW Insider is reporting that he is backstage for this week's SmackDown. Now, we don't know when he's going to be debuting, again as of me recording this. One thing we do know is that Tommaso Ciampa and Pete Dunne has wrestled in dark matches before SmackDown and Monday Night Raw, so it's clear that they are trying to call these guys up. Maybe Roderick Strong is not on his way out, as a lot of reports started to speculate. We got an update in regards to Finn Balor and Vince McMahon basically giving up on him, and the reason up to why that is. A source in WWE told Ringside News that Vince McMahon views Finn Balor as just a filler on the roster. More specifically, Vince McMahon thinks that Finn Balor is a high spot guy that doesn't sell in a way that means box office. Vince McMahon was never big on Finn Balor, even when he put the Universal Championship on him. That'll basically explain why Finn Balor lasted about 2 years before he got a rematch after being forced to drop the title due to an injury, and also why he hasn't gotten that title back. Really unfortunate news, doesn't make sense. We even got Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar a couple of years ago at the Royal Rumble, and that was an incredible matchup and an incredible build up to it. People loved Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns, so who knows what it is that Vince McMahon wants from these guys. I get the fact that he is a high spot guy and he is a small guy, but he literally has everything that you're looking for. He is that next Bryan Danielson, that next Jeff Hardy. On to some other news, just in case you guys missed the coverage on the main channel, in which we cover all things WWE 2K22 and all wrestling games. There were some big news on 2K22 dropping this week. The official cover star, Rey Mysterio, and the official release date for it is on March 11. But if you get the deluxe edition or the NWO edition that they have, you get to play the game 3 days early on March 8th. Obviously, if you guys want more detail, make sure to check out the main channel. I feel like I don't need to say that, but we do have new viewers that might not know. I will not be covering the game here, but that was a huge press release, and figure I'd give you the quick update on it. And obviously, cheap plug my main channel on the second one. Last but not least, we are talking about the Royal Rumble and The Rock's status and whether or not he will be appearing on that event. As I said at the beginning, speculations right now are running wild on potential potential surprises for it. And the latest in regards to The Rock potentially being a Royal Rumble surprise is that unfortunately he will not be there. Ringside News went as far as reporting that The Rock was actually never scheduled to be at the show, that the company made all Royal Rumble plans without even considering The Rock for a role. So if you had any slight hope of us potentially still getting The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, just stop thinking it right now. It looks like instead that might be happening next year in Hollywood. According to the report, The Rock is simply not available anytime soon to make his return to WWE. So stop making this man trend next to the Royal Rumble. Anyways guys, that is all the latest wrestling news coverage. If you enjoyed or found it informative, don't forget to elbow drop those notifications and drop a like. Stay savage, and I'll catch you on the next one.